Well, hi everyone, and thanks for watching. I was looking through some footage recently that I captured in years gone by, and I was pleased to come across the Grey Goshawk footage that I filmed around about 18 months ago. This footage, it wasn't enough to make the sequence I was after, but nonetheless it is footage that I'm particularly proud of. So I just thought I'd share that with you today. The grey goshawk is not a bird that we see often in the southern parts of Australia, away from the coast where I live. It is endemic, and I believe it's the only pure white raptor in the world. It's also Australia's largest hawk. So yeah, I did first see the bird around about 15 years ago. And this is down at our local swamp, which is only 10 minutes drive from where I live. So I do visit this swamp many times throughout the year, each season, and I haven't seen the bird in that 15 years. When I first saw this goshawk, it was circling quite high and quite distant, but the fact that it was circling pure white, I realized it wasn't a cockatoo. That led to me visiting the swamp, I guess, every day thereafter when the weather suited. And it was quite a while before I saw it again, and this time it was flying through the trees. Late afternoon, I suspect it was out hunting. Once again, it was at the swamp, and yeah, I was very pleased with that footage. Not quite as close as I would have liked, as is always the case. But yeah, the footage wasn't too bad. Once again, no sightings of a male bird, so I assumed it was just a solitary bird, and my biggest concern was that it would move on, because it was quite close to the breeding season and perhaps be looking for a partner. And that seemed to be the case for quite some time, because it was, well, I didn't see it again for many visits, and I just assumed it had moved on. But what I did notice one day was some circling, whistling kites, and they were just beyond just beyond the swamp, I guess you would say. And I went over to just have a look at what it was that was taking their interest, and there was the remains of a dead rabbit on the ground. Quite a lot of people shoot in this area, and I assume it was a rabbit that had been left behind. And much to the chagrin of my wife, I do have a number of roadkill rabbits in my freezer. So I thought the whistling kite's a bird that we see a lot here. It's very common, but it's quite a drab, not particularly pretty bird. And for that reason, I've never really taken much interest in it. But I thought it would be nice to capture the whistlers from a bird hide down at ground level. So that was the focus for the next trip, and I designed a ground hide. I didn't have one, so I designed a ground hide that I thought might work. The main focus behind the ground hide was to be at the same level as the bird, the whistlers, when they're feeding on the rabbit, and also to be able to move without the outer lining of the hide moving. I also needed to be comfortable, and I also didn't want my neck to be sore from having to control the camera from that position. So I used an external monitor, which was just placed in front of my face, and also had remote for the record, start, stop, and the like. So I set up the hide sort of mid-afternoon, I guess, early afternoon, middle of summer, and worked up quite a sweat doing that. And I got settled in for what I knew was going to be quite some time. and it was a long wait. I'd be guessing it was 5 hours perhaps, and it was certainly the last 10-15 minutes of light that was left in the day, you know, in terms of being able to record. But yeah, it was exciting when I realised, I knew the whistlers had come in and had landed in the tree just above the hide, and it was just a matter of time before they would come down. So that was exciting. They did come down. A pair of them come down shortly afterwards, and when they come down, I didn't want to move. You know, I just wanted them to settle. And as I was doing that, I wasn't recording. I was just looking through the hide material. Couldn't see much, but I could make out the whistlers, and then got pretty excited, well, very excited, when a white flash went in front of my vision, and I realized it was a Grey Goshawk, and very much realized it when the bird was very agitated and very vocal in its calling and attacking the whistlers. So really asserting its dominance, and yeah, that was just wonderful. I hit the record button at that point. I didn't worry about focus. I just hit the record button, and yeah, I just had a wonderful time for the next 10 or 15 minutes, I'm guessing, or maybe a bit longer. We got some beautiful footage of the bird. Light would have been nicer if it was a little bit brighter, but nonetheless, it was great footage. So yeah, that experience was around about 18 months ago, and I was hoping to, when I first saw the Grey Goshawk, I was hoping that, you know, there would have been a male bird that would have bred in the area. I would have got hoping to get some nice flight shots and maybe some shots of them out hunting. But unfortunately that didn't happen, but nonetheless it was great, the footage that I did get. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. If there's anything you'd like me to discuss in terms of the hide setup or the equipment I used, feel free to let me know. But thanks once again for watching.